it's DrayYoutube584. In this video, I'll be talking about an absolute monster that should have never existed. Dennis Jenkins. I came up with him back in October 2022. Oh my. Think about how bad my evil clone DrayYoutube584 is. Imagine taking every horrible quality of him and make it times 10. This guy sickens my stomach and intestines. He is locked up for good now because he got sent to a max security prison on December 15th, 2022, which he deserved times a million. This satanic excuse of a human being was born on November 2nd, 2002. On the day I was born, which was October 10th, 2005, he became a complete psychopath. And he wasn't even 3 yet. It started off when his parents quizzed him on the alphabet, and Dennis thought the letter K came before the letter J. When his parents told him he was making a mistake, he just started to throw a massive tantrum while punching and kicking his parents. Seriously. All because he tried to correct him on the way he was saying the alphabet. When he got to preschool, he was being super violent in school. Then his behavior in elementary school was so extreme that the teachers had a book of all his behaviors, and the book was 1 foot by 1 foot, had 1,000 pages, and they still needed a new book eventually. He made his classmates and teachers have to go to the hospital many times before because he seriously hurt them and even broke their bones. In high school, he did some of the most abominable things ever. On February 13th, 2020, he didn't want to be in school, so he got so violent when he got there that the whole school went into a lockdown. He injured hundreds of people, and he even took people's souls out of the earth. Hopefully you know what I mean by that. Then the whole school shut down for 2 months, which ended up becoming longer because of COVID. He got put in prison that day, but he unfortunately broke out of it. He also had many days when he did the most horrendous things at home. On November 1st, 2015, for example, he destroyed the entire house until it was a pile of ashes and debris, while giving extreme injuries to his whole family. And he did all of that because he kept dying in Minecraft. March 1st, 2019 was another day that he did something that's beyond abominable in school. He was taking a test in math class that day, and he kept screaming the F word at the top of his lungs because he was having a hard time with the test. He was screaming it so loud that the other students got scared and they kept looking at him. He kept going like So as you'd expect, the teacher ended up shouting, "Dennis, watch your language!" So then Dennis got up out of his seat, screaming at a terrifyingly loud volume at the teacher until she sent him to the office. While he was there, he destroyed everything in the office, and then he went on a crazy rampage in school again until they had to go on lockdown, like on February 13th, 2020. What in the world of 7 continents and oceans is Dennis's problem? You may be wondering why his parents didn't send him to a special school. Well, it's because the parents were saving their own lives because of what Dennis would have done to them if they made him go. Don't even get me started on his social media accounts. He has a YouTube channel known as Fiery Red Dragon. What he does on his channel makes my blood run cold. He literally makes videos where he goes up to his family members, and even strangers sometimes, and does the most brutal things to them for fun. Dennis Jenkins! One in the observable universe that contains every planet that revolves around the fiery stars that make up every galaxy has entered your sick mind! He also makes rants, and rants are absolutely execrable! He says some of the most sickest, cold-hearted, horrifying things that I have ever heard. while screaming at the top of his lungs every second with a mega intense ear blast effect. Then there's his Go At Me videos. He makes the worst Go At Me videos ever known to humanity. He mainly makes videos of Justin Bieber getting the worst imaginable torture for stupid reasons. Seriously, stop treating Justin Bieber like he's the worst thing in all dimensions. Back when YouTube showed the dislike account, his videos had a whopping 1 to 765 dislike to like ratio on average. How is his channel still up? He also has an account on the top 10s called Burning Blackfire. He is literally destroying the website. He's turning it into a complete dump and making everybody delete their accounts by doing horrible things to them. He once went to my list of my least favorite days in 2020, and he wrote a comment that is so horrifying to me that I can't mention any of it. Because he's like, no one cares about those lists. He's one of those kinds of people. I get that. But that was no good reason to say all that to me. Dennis even started a metal band in 2019, and their music is an absolute abomination against music. The name of the band is Demons of Gehenna. As you'd expect from the name, their music is satanic. It's the most anti-Christian band I've ever heard. All their titles are unmentionable, and it's so brutal. It sounds like a complete ear blast while Dennis is screaming terrifyingly wicked things at the top of his lungs. You want to know how the band got formed? Dennis found 3 random boys who were friends with each other going on a walk outside that were around the same age as him. Then Dennis ran up to them and harshly threatened them to be in his band. Then Dennis dictated every little thing they did in the band. And every time they messed up, Dennis would just brutally assault them. And everyone believed they were genuine until the 3 boys moved far away on May 26, 2022, which broke the band up. And then on June 14, 2022, they made a video that showed shocking proof that they were only playing in the band Demons of Gehenna to save their own lives from Dennis. Now they make their own music in a group called the Ocelots. And their music is 1,000,000 times better than that of Demons of Gehenna. When I was in middle school, I made a classmate that went to my school known as Robert. He was called that for being mean, even though Robert was his real name. He was infamous for being angry all the time and exploding at everyone. And he was also infamous for being discriminatory. But now I've come to realize that it wasn't even his fault. Dennis Jenkins was beating Robert up in November 2016, and he was making Robert a slave to Dennis. And that ruined Robert as a person. Well done, Dennis! Obvious sarcasm. I'm so glad that Dennis got sent to a max security prison 4 months ago, because he is a huge monster and an absolutely despicable excuse of a human being! He makes Cray look like an angel comparison. I hope Dennis Jenkins stays locked up for the rest of his life. End of rant.